They told us Avada Kedavra couldn't be blocked, that once it's cast, there's no shield, no counterspell, just death. So how did Dumbledore survive it? Because in the middle of the Ministry battle, Voldemort fired the curse straight at him. And somehow, it didn't work. Was it luck? A trick? Or has the wizarding world been lying to us about how this deadly curse really works? What if Dumbledore didn't dodge the spell? What if he deflected it? Let's break down one of the most mysterious moments in all of Harry Potter and uncover the truth about the so-called unblockable curse. Because once you see what really happened, you'll never watch that scene the same way again. Avada Kedavra. 2 words that mean instant death. No pain, no warning, just a flash of green light, and you're gone. The books are clear. It's one of the 3 unforgivable curses, and unlike almost every other spell, there's no counter curse. But here's the twist. When people hear unblockable, they think unstoppable. They imagine it cutting through anything, like a magical bullet that nothing can stop. But that's not true, not even close. J.K. Rowling herself explained, Avada Kedavra can't be blocked by magical spells. That means you can't cast Protego and expect to be safe. You can't hit it with Expelliarmus or Confundo and hope it fizzles out. But what can stop it is the physical world. Solid objects, statues, walls, creatures, even another person. We've seen it multiple times. Dumbledore uses animated statues as shields, phoenixes can absorb the curse, and spells can be dodged with speed or apparition. In fact, the curse has one major flaw. It's powerful, but it travels in a straight line. It's flashy, it's loud, and if you see it coming, you have a chance. And that's what makes Dumbledore's moment so strange. He didn't just dodge it, he stood his ground. Voldemort, in full rage, fired it at him. No hesitation. And yet, Dumbledore didn't fall. No collapse. No flash of death. Somehow the curse never reached him. So the real question becomes, what did he do that no one else could? And the answer? It's hidden in plain sight, in the chaos of that duel inside the Ministry. Let's break it down. The duel between Dumbledore and Voldemort at the Ministry of Magic wasn't just a clash of power. It was a masterclass in precision, timing, and distraction. Let's set the stage. It's the Department of Mysteries. Everything is in ruins. Glass shatters, flames rise, and Harry is frozen in place, watching 2 of the most powerful wizards alive go head-to-head. Voldemort is furious, wild, and Dumbledore? Calm, controlled, almost surgical. When Voldemort fires the Avada Kedavra, it's not just once. He sends multiple strikes during the battle. But here's what's crucial. Dumbledore never blocks the curse with a spell. Instead, he uses everything else. First, he animates the golden statues, specifically the centaur, witch, and wizard. These aren't just visual flair. They move, intercept, and shield. One statue dives in front of a killing curse. It shatters, absorbing the impact. That's physical barrier number 1. Then there's Fawkes. Just as Voldemort sends a curse hurtling toward Dumbledore, the Phoenix appears out of nowhere, flying directly into the path. Fawkes takes the full blast of the curse and bursts into flames. That's right. A magical creature tanks Avada Kedavra. And because phoenixes are immortal, Fawkes is reborn moments later. It's one of the few times in the series we see the curse hit something head-on and fail to kill in a permanent way. But Dumbledore doesn't stop there. He uses time. He uses space. He warps the battlefield, sending water crashing down, wrapping Voldemort in chains, and teleporting across the chamber. Every move he makes distracts, diverts, or delays. It's not brute strength, it's tactical genius. So did Dumbledore block Avada Kedavra? Not exactly. He redirected it. He sacrificed objects. He let the curse hit things it could destroy, so it never reached him. It wasn't magic against magic, it was chess. And Voldemort was playing checkers. Here's the part most people miss. Even in a world of magic, physics still matter. Wizards can summon storms and teleport across countries, but a spell like Avada Kedavra still needs a clear path to its target. It travels like a projectile. Fast, deadly, but direct. That's why physical barriers, yes, actual solid objects, can block it. And that's not a theory. It's canon. We've seen wizards hurl desks, walls, and statues to intercept curses. We've seen spells bounce off surfaces or be absorbed by enchanted objects. Avada Kedavra is no exception. If it hits something solid, whether it's a wall, a statue, or even a living creature, it stops. It doesn't pass through. It doesn't explode on impact. It just hits, and that's it. In the Department of Mysteries, Dumbledore didn't try to outpower the curse. He simply outplayed it, putting barriers in the way before Voldemort could land a clean shot. And that's where the big misconception comes in. People think Dumbledore deflected Avada Kedavra like a Jedi with a lightsaber. But he didn't bounce it back. He didn't reflect it. He let it hit something else, knowing exactly what it would do. It's like standing behind a shield while someone fires a gun. You don't need to stop the bullet with your hands. You just need something strong enough to stand between you and the danger. And Dumbledore? He had an army of Wizards can summon storms and teleport across countries, but a spell like Avada Kedavra still needs a clear path to its target. It travels like a projectile. Fast, deadly, but direct. That's why physical barriers, yes, actual solid objects, can block it. And that's not a theory. It's canon. We've seen wizards hurl desks, walls, and statues to intercept curses. We've seen spells bounce off surfaces or be absorbed by enchanted objects. Avada Kedavra is no exception. If it hits something solid, whether it's a wall, a statue, or even a living creature, it stops. It doesn't pass through. It doesn't explode on impact. It just hits, and that's it. In the Department of Mysteries, Dumbledore didn't try to outpower the curse. He simply outplayed it, putting barriers in the way before Voldemort could land a clean shot. And that's where the big misconception comes in. People think Dumbledore deflected Avada Kedavra like a Jedi with a lightsaber. But he didn't bounce it back. He didn't reflect it. He let it hit something else, knowing exactly what it would do. It's like standing behind a shield while someone fires a gun. You don't need to stop the bullet with your hands. You just need something strong enough to stand between you and the danger. And Dumbledore? He had an army of animated statues, a phoenix that can't die, and decades of battle experience. He didn't need to block the curse. He made sure it never had a chance to hit him in the first place. So if Dumbledore didn't magically block Avada Kedavra, why do so many people think he did? Blame the movies. Blame the fan edits. Blame the way legends are born from misunderstanding. In the films, the duel is fast, flashy, and dramatic. Green lights flying, glass exploding, spells clashing mid-air. It looks like Dumbledore is directly stopping Voldemort's killing curses with sheer magical force. But that's not what's happening. In the books, the moment is described with far more clarity. Dumbledore uses animated statues to intercept spells. He uses fire and water, distraction and timing. There's no spell he casts that directly repels Avada Kedavra, because such a spell doesn't exist. But over time, fans started filling in the blanks. He must have used some secret magic. He probably invented a counter curse no one knows about. Only Dumbledore could survive that. And just like that, a myth was born. A myth that says Dumbledore deflected Avada Kedavra with raw power, when really, he never needed to. The truth is far more interesting. He didn't use some forbidden spell or hidden magic. He used what everyone else had access to, but in a way no one else ever thought to try. And that's the genius of Dumbledore. While Voldemort relied on fear and brute force, Dumbledore relied on strategy, misdirection, and control. He didn't overpower the curse, he outsmarted it. But this wasn't the only trick up his sleeve, because some of the strangest defenses against Avada Kedavra weren't even spells at all. Let's talk about the exceptions. Then there's priori incantatem, a phenomenon where twin-core wands clash and cancel each other out. It's not something Dumbledore used, but it proves a bigger point. Even in a world of hard rules, exceptions exist. Strange magic, deeper connections, ancient relics, and if anyone knew how to harness those loopholes, it was Albus Dumbledore. He didn't just know the rules, he knew the limits of those rules, and more importantly, where they could be pushed, bent, or quietly broken. But even with all that knowledge, the truth behind this scene still gets twisted, thanks to one very specific reason. And it's not magic, it's memory. Ask most Harry Potter fans how Dumbledore survived Avada Kedavra, and you'll get some version of the same story. He blocked it. He used a secret spell. He's Dumbledore. He can do anything. But here's the thing. None of that's true. It's a myth. One born from movie magic, fuzzy memory, and the way we want our heroes to be invincible. The film version of the Duel is epic, yes, but it's also misleading. Bright flashes, spells colliding, dramatic music swelling. It feels like Dumbledore is standing tall, effortlessly deflecting the most dangerous curse in existence. But that's cinematic illusion, not canon. In reality, Dumbledore never blocked Avada Kedavra. He avoided it, outsmarted it, redirected it. But we don't remember it that way, because we saw something cooler, something more heroic. And that version stuck. There's also the way we talk about magic in this world. When something is labeled unblockable, our brains treat it like an absolute, no exceptions. But we forget that magical law isn't like physics. It's more like a giant puzzle, full of loopholes, exceptions, and strange consequences. Over time, the myth became stronger than the facts, and people stopped asking questions. But now that we've broken it down, piece by piece, we can finally see the truth. Dumbledore didn't break the rules. He played within them, better than anyone else ever has. And the most dangerous spell in the wizarding world? It was never stronger than a wizard who refused to fight on its terms. But what if this isn't the only lie we've believed about Avada Kedavra? Because there's one more story, buried deep in Wandlore, that might change everything we know about who can cast it and who can't. So now you know, Dumbledore didn't block the unblockable. He didn't need to. He used strategy, timing, and just enough misdirection to survive something that should have been fatal. Not by overpowering the spell, but by understanding it better than anyone else. And maybe that's the real lesson here. In a world obsessed with raw power, Dumbledore proved that knowledge, preparation, and a little misdirection can be even more deadly than a killing curse. But here's the question no one's asking. If Avada Kedavra can be outmaneuvered, What other rules of magic are built on half-truths? Because the wizarding world is full of spells we were told are absolute. But the more we dig, the more we realize we've been lied to before. And this might just be the beginning. Subscribe if you want the truth about the spells, secrets, and stories no one else is telling. Because in this world, nothing is as simple as it seems.